Uniform circular motion means circular motion with constant angular velocity. Angular velocity omega is equal to v upon r. That means the object moves with constant speed in a particular direction, clockwise or anti-clockwise on a certain path. But here, constant speed doesn't mean that object is not accelerating. Now, stay with me and understand the circular motion and its related variables like angular displacement, velocity, and angular acceleration in most easy and interactive way. Any linear motion can have only two directions, positive or negative. In the case of horizontal motion, it can be rightward or leftward. Rightward motion is in positive x direction and leftward motion is in negative x direction. While in vertical motion, it can be upward or downward. Upward motion is in positive y direction and downward motion is in negative y direction. Similarly, a circular motion can be only in two directions, the anti-clockwise direction or clockwise direction. The anti-clockwise direction we take as positive and the clockwise direction we take as negative direction. To present any motion, we need quantities which change with time. For linear motions, quantities like position, displacement, velocity and acceleration. All of these are vector quantities. Similarly, to present any circular motion, we need corresponding quantities that can present the position of a rotating object, its displacement with time, the velocity and the acceleration. These corresponding quantities are known as angular position theta, angular displacement del theta, related to velocity, angular velocity omega, and in place of acceleration, angular acceleration alpha. All of these angular quantities are also vector quantities. The directions are given by using the right-hand thumb rule. Now let's understand these quantities and their interrelationship with linear motion. In the case of linear motion, we get the position of an object as per its location on x-axis or y-axis. In this case, a point P on x-axis is presented by del x, that is a distance from origin to that point. Okay, so the coordinate of point P is x and the coordinate of origin is 0. So the displacement del x is given by x minus 0. In case of circular motion, we'll take x-axis as a reference axis. Here O, and this is a point P for example. This OP represents the initial position of this object on this circle. This is represented by the radius and the angle theta, which is being made with this x-axis. Here theta is 0. So OP is initial position. Now if this ball turns in anti-clockwise direction and covers the theta angle, here the displacement del theta is given by theta minus 0, which is a final position minus initial position. And this equal to theta, which is nothing but the arc upon radius, del s upon r. R is the radius of the circle. Unit of measure for angular displacement is radians. Theta is a ratio of two lengths like arc upon radius, so it doesn't have any dimension. This is a dimensionless quantity. Now let's see how we can get the direction of this displacement. So as per right hand thumb rule, if we curl our fingers in the direction of motion, which is in anti-clockwise direction here, in this situation our extended thumb will show the direction of angular displacement. This is always along the axis of rotation. Now let's check these directions on XYZ coordinates. If angular motion is in XY plane, then the direction of displacement will be along the Z axis. In case of anti-clockwise direction, it will be in positive Z direction. So if the motion is clockwise direction, then as per the right hand thumb rule, the direction of angular displacement will be minus Z direction. Angular displacement is measured in degrees, radians and revolutions. 360 degree is equal to 2 pi radians, and that is equal to 1 revolution. In this case, here an object is moving from A to B on a circular path. The angular displacement is 90 degree, which is equal to pi by 2 radians, and if we want to put in revolution, it's a 1 by 4 revolution. Okay. And this is a positive angular displacement because the direction of motion is anti-clockwise direction. In another case, the object is moving in clockwise direction and it travels 90 degree. So here the angular displacement del theta is equal to minus 90 degree, or you can say minus pi by 2 radians. Now let's check the angular velocity. In case of linear motion, the velocity is defined by del x by del t, the displacement divided by the time duration, and it is measured in meters per second. Similarly, in case of angular motion, the angular velocity omega is defined by angular displacement by time and measured in radians per second. The direction of angular velocity again is given by right hand thumb rule. So the direction of angular velocity is in the direction of displacement. Now let's take an example. If an object rotates in a circle of radius 7 meters in xy plane and it covers an angle of 270 degree in anti-clockwise direction. So OP is the initial position, and if it rotates in anti-clockwise direction for 270 degrees. So initial position is given by theta 1, which is 0 degree. The final position is theta 2, which is equal to 270 degree. So change in position is nothing but the displacement. The angular displacement is given by theta 2 minus theta 1, which is 270 degree. And this will be equal to 270 divided by 360 into 2 pi radians, which is equal to 3 by 2 pi radians. And this angular displacement happen in 3 seconds. So the angular velocity omega is equal to del theta by del t, which is equal to 3 by 2 pi divided by 3 seconds. So this will be equal to pi by 2 radians per second. So the angular velocity of the object is pi by 2 radians per second in anti-clockwise direction, which is a positive direction. To find out the direction of angular velocity, which should be in the same direction in which the angular displacement is given by right hand thumb rule. Since the motion is in xy plane, as per the right hand thumb rule, the direction will be in positive z direction. Now let's see the angular acceleration alpha. In case of linear motion, acceleration a is given by the change in velocity divided by change in time. Its unit of measure is meter per second square. In the similar way, the angular acceleration is given by change in angular velocity divided by time and is measured in radians per second square. To understand this, let's take an example. If an object rotates in a circle in clockwise direction and changes its angular velocity from 90 radians per second to 360 radians per second in 9 seconds. Calculate its angular acceleration. So here the first thing is the object is moving in clockwise direction, that this direction is a negative direction. So initial angular velocity is 90 radians per second. So omega 1 is minus 90 radians per second because this is in negative direction. And the final angular velocity is minus 360 radians per second. Right? So this is important, you have to take care of the direction. And this change in angular velocity took place in 9 seconds. So what is the acceleration? The angular acceleration alpha. Alpha is nothing but the change in angular velocity divided by time. So here minus 360 minus 90 divided by 9. So this becomes minus 270 divided by 9, and this is minus 30 radians per second square. So the angular acceleration is negative 30 radians per second square. It means the object acceleration is in negative direction, which is 30 radians per second square. Or in other words, the angular velocity is increasing in clockwise direction at a rate of 30 radians per second in each second. And the direction of angular acceleration as per right hand thumb rule will be in the negative z direction. And this direction of acceleration is same as the direction of angular velocity, because in this case the angular velocity is increasing in clockwise direction. Now let's see the relations between linear and angular quantities. If an object starts rotating from initial position OP, and if it covers a distance as on a circular path, this distance as can be given by r into theta, and this relation comes from the fact that theta is equal to arc upon radius, and the linear velocity is equal to r omega, and similarly the linear acceleration, which is a tangential acceleration, is equal to r into angular acceleration. Now let's take an example to understand this relation. If an object rotates in a circle of radius 7 meters and cover a distance of 33 meters in clockwise direction in 3 seconds, find the angular velocity. So here the motion is in clockwise direction, which is a negative direction. So the angular displacement del theta is given by minus the s, the distance covered, minus 33 divided by the radius, which is 7 meters. So del theta is equal to minus 33 by 7 radians, and time taken to cover this angular displacement is 3 seconds. So the angular velocity omega will be minus 33 divided by 7 and divided by 3. So this will be minus 11 by 7 radians per second. Right? So first you have to convert the distance covered on circular path into angular displacement by using the formula del theta is equal to del s upon r. Okay. Now let's understand the uniform circular motion on the basis of our knowledge of uniform linear motion. Uniform linear motion means constant velocity motion. That means object moves with constant speed in a fixed direction on a straight line path. Speed is constant, the direction is fixed, and motion is in a straight line path. So there is no acceleration. In similar pattern, can you think about the uniform circular motion? Uniform circular motion means circular motion with constant angular velocity. That means the object moves with constant speed in a particular direction, clockwise or anti-clockwise on a circular path. Here, angular speed is constant. the direction of angular motion is fixed, clockwise or anti-clockwise, and motion is in circular path. So there is no angular acceleration. But here constant angular speed omega doesn't mean the object is not accelerating. Although the object is moving with a constant speed in a circular path, but its direction is changing every moment. This change in direction of velocity resulting in centripetal acceleration, which always works toward the center. It is important to note that if there is a circular motion, there is a centripetal acceleration. You cannot imagine any circular motion without centripetal acceleration. There is one more acceleration in case of circular motion known as tangential acceleration. It always works in the direction of instantaneous velocity and keeps on change every moment of time. In the case of uniform circular motion, the tangential acceleration is zero. We'll talk about different types of accelerations and their interrelations in our next video. Now it is a time for 3 conceptual questions. Try these questions and put your comments, answers and doubts in comment box. I hope you would have enjoyed this session. If you think you have learned something new today, then please click like button and subscribe us for similar type of videos. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.